Yeah, what it do though? Back with another episode of Whispering to Your Soul. I got the squad here. Y'all make sure y'all DM me if y'all want to go on the intimate conversations where we do the one-on-one interviews. But right now, I'm going to introduce the lovely Miss A. Noel Award Telly winning Jackson to the building. Hey, Noel, talk to the people one time.
What's good? It's your girl, Ain't Well. I'm here to have some fun today and have some thought-provoking conversations.
Yes, sir, Ski. Whoa, I said, come on, little mama, you need some more. Hey,
Hey,
Justin, what it do? What it do? We got our buff friend, who can fix anything. You hear me? Like everything you see in my background, that young man put up. So if y'all need anybody to make sure that your house looks good, you want to tap into the Marvel himself, the legend, the Marine, that guy, Mister Clean Ballhead. Jay, talk to the people. Let them know what you do. Winning director.
Hello, everybody. Marvel 00784, Justin, assistant director, writer, director, produce every now and then, can build stuff and give you your personal training sessions. So just hit me up. I got all your needs covered. Just bring the cash with you before you go.
Just give me my monies.
Yeah, I don't work for free.
okay.
And it's your boy, your host, King Jacquel Martin, award-winning director, actor, author, host. Doing things, man. We got some new things on the way that's coming out, so y'all get ready. Plus, make sure you hit me up if you want to be a part of Whispering to Your Soul intimate conversations when we do a one-on-one interview about you and your testimony. I'm doing 25 interviews, and that'll be dropping in season 1, and that'll be on all streaming platforms. It'll also be on YouTube, so y'all can check out the video. But enough about that. Let's get into some of this content today. Let's see what we got on the list today, because, hey, that's what we do. Video number 1.
According to recent studies, 1 in 7 hiring managers will not be hiring Gen Z candidates. Apparently, they've been firing Gen Z recent graduates. They've been firing them at an all-time high rate, citing these issues: lack of initiative, unprofessional behavior, frequent lateness, disorganization, poor communication, and they're struggling to manage their workload properly.
So we're going to open up with the lovely A. Noel. What did you think of that clip? What are your thoughts about those comments?
Oh, man. Well, first off, shout out. The original clip is from the Black Millionaire, so shout out to them.
Shout out to the Black Millionaires. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, gang, gang. Secondly, it's interesting because I feel like as an elder millennial growing up, we were taught that hard work gets you everywhere. If you just work real hard and you focus and double down, that you will be able to get you a house, get the white picket fence, get the dog, get the 2.5 kids and whatnot, get the marriage and all that. And as we've grown up, we've seen that some of the rules are changing. And then I can seeing it affecting Gen Z. Now, do I think that they're being lazy and all of that? I'm not necessarily sure. What I do know is that the game has changed a lot. When growing up, I know it was like really pushed upon us to go to college. And when you go to college, get the degree, then you'll get your 6-figure job. But times have really changed now to where that's not even a guarantee anymore. Even people are treating the bachelor's degree as a daggone high school diploma at this point. So now it's like, okay, now you got to get the master's and you got to get the PhD. So it's always this capitalistic mindset that you have to just keep going to attain more. And then that also, that affects the next generation, because it's like we're seeing in real time that that's not always necessarily true. Now, in terms of the behavior of Gen Z, I know that is the generation that really knows technology, the internet, and what have you. I feel like millennials are the last generation that knows what it means to go outside and play, be disconnected from the internet. So maybe they do have a new set of rules that I'm not privy to, and they have some type of new independence that I'm not really privy to as well. I am the queen of choosing what's best for you. And if a job that is not giving you the freedom and respect that you deserve, then of course quit. But also know that there's a level of responsibility that one must attain through hard work. So I am a little bit conflicted, because who's to say that Gen Zs are lazy? Like, who is making that assumption? Are they necessarily lazy, or are they realizing that the system that's in play does not work for them anymore?
Justin, you're up.
I second all of that. You know, no matter what time period we're in, Gen Z, millennials, you know, baby boomers, whatever, your responsibility and how you conduct yourself will always be that will always win the day. I had a conversation yesterday with somebody who was 25, and it was about showing up on time for your work or for an event or whatever the case may be. And this was just, you know, at midnight last night, and it was like, that's always going to be the rule no matter what. I think we live in a society, and I know we'll talk more about this later, where it is, you know, and maybe social media has really made it this way. It is an instant gratification thing. So, you know, while you say, hey, I want this now, I want this now, I want this now, you have to remember too, as a Gen Z person or anybody in the society, that your employer may be 24 or 25 years old, and they may be looking at it like that too, as, hey, as much as you're an instant gratification type of Gen Z person, I'm also Gen Z and I'm instant gratification too, which means that my patience may be a lot less, and the things I'm willing to let go and let deal with may be a lot less, versus maybe like 40 years ago where someone may give you a chance and stuff like that. So the knife cuts both ways. But yeah, I agree with that. You know, times are a lot different. If something is not working out, hey, you know, some girl can say, I'm going to have a personal training account or an OnlyFans account, or some guy can say, hey, look, I'm just going to start showing my films and everything on YouTube, or create a space where I can be my own boss and I can be my own business. And I don't have to show up early. I don't have to do whatever I want. I don't have to follow any of those rules. I can just go in my own way and do what I want. But so I don't necessarily agree with the old rules or the old way of how you go about things is necessarily the same way. But like I said, responsibility and behavior is always going to be the same across the board. You're going to have to show up on time, and you're going to have to work hard, primarily because everything that you want to do in the social media or the virtual space gets oversaturated like instantaneously. When something new comes out, or something popping, or something hot comes out, everybody jumps on the bandwagon because it's instant money. It's instant notoriety. So you're going to have to work harder to stand out against all those people that are being competitive. You know what I mean? If you want to have a personal training page on Instagram, you got to compete with 3 million other personal training pages on Instagram. So that means you're going to have to up your game. So, you know, whether you work for an employer, you work for yourself, man, you got to put in the effort for that. That's just across the board. That's my personal take.
Not bad. I agree with both of you guys. For me, professionalism doesn't have error, or this didn't see X, Y, A, B, C. Professionalism is professional. I don't care what age group you're in. If you're professional, you're professional. If you're on time, you're on time. If you're ready to do the job, you're ready to do the job. And I don't think that comes with an age limit. Now, preparation, I think that's a different thing, though. I hate how every generation always knocks the next generation. And the reason why I don't like that, because if there's life and death in what we speak, what are you speaking over that next generation? If there's power in words. So if you tell a child you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, eventually that child will believe that it's stupid, right? So if we're passing down negativity over and over and over again, why do you think we have so many holes in the ship?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one perspective. Two, the next generation is the fruit that fell from the branch. So what I'm saying in that is, you're actually doing a reflection of your teaching. If you're throwing that next generation under the bus, it means you didn't do your job when you are in the position of parenting or teaching to prepare them to be able to handle what's what. And I think a lot of times they don't do that because it goes back to how we speak over the next generation. It's always easier to throw someone under the bus than it is to make sure that they're prepared so that way the legacy can come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't feel like legacy has the same meaning that it used to. There used to be a time period where your last name actually meant something and you wanted to carry that on. So your parents prepared you to carry on the legacy of the last name. I don't know when that started changing, but I think that's something that we can get back to, you know what I mean? And in the preparation, whether it is through Instagram and social media, because the world is evolving, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost kind of like Hidden Figures where they had the human calculators, but then she was like, oh, we need to learn how to use the machines in order to get ahead of the change. Well, technology is changing, but yet we need to get ahead of the machine of how things are changing with social media, so that way we can take our talents and gifts, because they are smarter and faster computers now, and still prepare them with the old school professionalism, so that way they got the best of both worlds. That's how I feel about that. And I feel like when we start changing our language and then we change how we speak, and instead of blaming the next generation, we look at our teaching. And then once we start changing how we teach, and that will prepare the next generation to be more professional, to be better, instead of us just always continuously throwing someone under the bus. What are y'all thoughts? Hey, Noel, you're up.
No, I'm completely aligned with everything that you said. Yeah, you have to teach the child in the way that they should go. So if you're not teaching them effectively, or you're browbeating them, or you're, as you said, calling them stupid, 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 if you're pouring into them that negativity, that's all they're going to get. Conversely, if you're pouring good things, if you're pouring positivity, if you're pouring actual concrete skills that they can take on and move on to their next chapter in their lives, then honestly, we wouldn't even be having this discussion, because the previous generation would have set them up for success. But hey, here we are. Uh-oh, you're mute. I don't even know what you say. Go ahead. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. It really should be a symbiotic thing. I mean, this is kind of historical. Like, you have a generation, and the next generation comes up, and they have their music, and they have their technology, and they have their movies, and they have their clothes, and they have the way they do things. And a subsection from the older generation, I would say, is like, well, that's not good enough. That's not the way we did things. That's not, you guys listen to rap music now. That's not what we had, that kind of stuff. Well, it don't really matter what you had or what you do. This is, if I'm 19 or 20 or 21 years old, this is the way we're doing things now. So if you're 40, 50, 60 years old, and it's, 2025, and you still worried about how they did things in 1978 or 1990 or 1982, then I don't know what to tell you. You have to get on this train. And the way that, the speed at which we move now, it's really imperative to me, not so much Gen Z and the younger generation, because they already got it. Okay. It's their world. It's the older generation, people my age, 40, 41, 45, 50 years old, that we have to open up our minds and and see this thing from a broader perspective. You know what I mean? And say, hey, look, this is the way they're doing things now. Like you said, I agree. Let me instill some of my insight and wisdom, and also try to, take in, some of what's happening right now, so I'm not left behind, because if I'm just continuously telling somebody in my workspace that's 20 years old, you're not doing it right. This is not how you do things. This is not how you do things. This is how you do things. And someone's like, yeah, this is not how we do things, because I'm doing it faster and better than you did, old man. And I'm like, shit. I can tell you a tiny little thing. I was on set a long time ago, I'd say not a long time ago, but 3 years ago. And I was assistant directing, and I was working on a feature, and I had all my notes and everything in a binder and paper. And I was just flipping tabs, going back and forth. Things were moving so fast on set that when there was a new scene or something, I had to flip to page 50, because I had a big old binder full of paper. Cool, great. Where my second AD comes up with their tablet, You know what I mean? And they have all their notes on their iPad, and they're just like boop, 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 boop. And they're also synchronized to, their iPhone and their watch. So they're moving like, okay, we're on to the next thing, da, 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 because I'm fully integrated from a technological perspective. But me being me, I'm looking at them like, how can I make my workflow better? Because obviously what I'm doing right now is very antiquated, and I'm not able to keep up with what everybody else is doing. So in those moments, I could have said, well, I need to keep my hard copy paper because writing everything down at a slow process is the best way to do it. That's how I've always done it. Versus looking at them and they're moving 5 times faster than me. And I have to open up my mind and be like, that looks like a very efficient way to go. And, I think that's the way it should be. And if we're closed-minded to that, then the world's going to pass you by. That's just the way it is. Still muted. King, you're muted.
You're muted. There you go.
Relax. Jesus Christ, you're muted.
You were. You said all these sentences. We want to know.
You're missing your gems.
There you go.
Matter of fact, I got this. This is what I'm gonna do for y'all. Sometimes you gotta kick them. I'm just teasing. Let me bring them amazing people back up here. I will say this, right? When you say generation to generation, that is one generation crossing the bridge to get to the next generation, right? I look at it as the bridge between generations. What I see is with the negativity from both sides, you have the old school generation stuck in how they did things, and there's no evolution, and they only feel like their way is the right way because two things can be right at one time. It was the right way during that time period, but we're no longer in that time period, and they're stuck in that time period. But the professional of that time period crosses over. The problem is when you're dogging the new generation, you're burning the bridge from that direction, right? And then when you have no teacher teaching the new generation, and they're like, oh, well, you're just throwing us under the bus and disrespecting us, and you can't keep up with us anyway, you're burning the bridge from this direction. So you have two parties burning the bridge and wondering why there's no connectivity between generation to generation. And then you wonder why there's a gap, or you wonder why we're not evolving as fast as we could evolve. Because every time it's time for the new generation, it's a new bridge that's being burned over again. Mm-hmm. When are we going to stop burning bridges and learn how to unite and connect to have an amazing conversation? So that way the legacy carries on. They can cross over from all the hard work you've done, because I feel like each generation starts over from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
They have to start over from scratch. Let's use a black household. Let's use a black household. I'm going to use this as a black household. Majority of the time in the black household, when you become 18, 21, what do your parents tell you to do?
Go out and get a job.
They kick you out. You got to move out.
They move you out. Mm-hmm. You got to start over from scratch and figure it out, right? So that's one generation telling the next generation to get out, to start over, to figure it out, right? Mm-hmm. In other cultures, they buy a home, everyone stays in that home, they keep that home, and then they pass the home to the next generation, and all of them put the bills on the next home, and then they wonder why they have a community. I don't think we do that when it comes to generation. I think we are kicking each other out, and we're starting all over again. I don't think we're building community, and because we're not building no community, there's no community between the two parties. It's just get out, start over. Well, I figured it out. You can't keep up with what I figured out, but then there's no professionalism in what you were supposed to pass on in that situation. Yeah. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's bars, man.
You know what I mean? Let's move into this new topic, y'all. Let's see what we got.
Correspondent Aaron Katersky.
We're here today to announce the arrest and charging of 3 defendants.
It was a stunning announcement.
Former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, Michael Jeffries, Matthew Smith, and James Jacobson.
The former CEO of one of America's most celebrated brands, Abercrombie & Fitch, arrested along with his romantic partner and a business associate.
Their sex trafficking and prostitution enterprise lasted at least from the end of 2008 until early 2015. They spent millions of dollars on a massive infrastructure to support this operation and maintain its secrecy.
Jeffries, who stepped down from Abercrombie in 2014, is accused by law enforcement of using his power and wealth to traffic and sexually exploit more than a dozen young men around the world, many of them aspiring models. The 16-count indictment includes charges of sex trafficking and prostitution. At the heart of the case, the allegations of 15 John Does.
So it's jaw-dropping and shocking in every twist and turn of this case. We've seen R. Kelly go down on similar charges, and in the Southern District of New York, Sean Combs is facing the exact same charges.
When I saw the charges come down, I said perhaps this is a continuation of the reckoning that I think we are starting to.
Hey, Noel, you're up. What are your thoughts about Abercrombie and Fitch?
I never liked that brand anyway, so I think that.
Hold on, time out. So you gonna tell me when you walked in the Abercrombie and Fitch store, you didn't like the smell?
I hated it. I hated the smell.
I gotta kick her off the stage. No,
that's fine.
No.
That's fine. I'll tell you. I hated it. I was never. Nope. You catch me in baby fats. You can catch me in Timberlands. That was me. But to address the issue at hand, it's jarring to see how both of these cases with the CEOs of Abercrombie and Fitch, the former CEOs, and R. Kelly and Sean Diddy Combs, and the level of treatment they're receiving. I remember there was a documentary out on Netflix, I believe either Netflix or it was Hulu, uncovering the case of the CEO from Abercrombie and Fitch. And honestly, it seems like it just died on the vine. Mm-hmm. You haven't heard much else about it, but it seems like every other week I'm hearing something new about the Diddy case. I'm hearing something new come up about the R. Kelly case. Shoot, even Cosby. Like there's always something new in the press coming out about them. But then when it comes to these other gentlemen, it's quiet. And I'm saying gentlemen very loosely, these monsters, to take advantage of young men who had dreams to get into the entertainment industry in such a way is abhorrent. This is exactly why I speak to young kids. No matter if you're male or female, I speak to them around the world, because when you have a dream, especially if it's connected to the entertainment industry, because it's basically an open secret on how to get on, how to get in, who to meet, and how to connect with people. The predators are real. They exist. And so I always felt like it was my job, and the onus is on me to get on the inside, really take this job and this career and this vocation seriously, and then teach the younger generation. We just talked about making sure that the next generation, they're equipped. I do that when I go to these schools and I speak about, hey, this is the way to get into the entertainment industry. No, you do not have to go to the industry parties to get on. No, you do not have to sell your soul in order to have a life and fulfill your dream as an entertainer or a model or anything like that. So it is definitely two different Americas we live in.
Justin, you're up.
Yeah, I definitely agree. A couple things. First of all, his face. Wow. Damn. I mean,
time out. What we not gonna do and be like, wow, his face.
His face. I mean, you're gonna talk about someone that looks like a predator. I mean, let me tell you something. Even if it wasn't you and I just saw this person walking in the store, I would say, oh my God, it looks like you're wearing a melted mask. It does not. I would just assume that he's a predator. I'm just sorry. I would just, like, if he was walking to the street, I'd be like, oh, predator. And then if he wasn't,
allegedly.
the second part to that is they said since 2008. Now, how about since the entire time? I mean, let's be real. Dude been running this game forever. Male models, people that come in and want to be male models for Abercrombie and Fitch, taking off their shirt, taking off their pants. I mean, dude knew he knew what business he wanted to be in. Straight up.
He was like, I know friends that were male models, and then they'll actually stand there in their drawers.
Man,
that's real.
And that's the expectation that they have, is that they're going to be doing this because they see the ads. So they know what they're getting themselves into as far as like exposing themselves, but they ain't know how far it was going to go. But I digress. To the original point, yes, it is two different Americas that we live in. And we've known that for a long time. I think in 2025 and moving forward, the difference is that all these things can be vocalized, right? So if this was 2008 or 2012 or 2014 even, and this story came out, we don't really have that collective public voice to see this story with him and this story with R. Kelly or this story with Diddy or this story with whoever, and make the comparisons and say, or see a post and 10,000 people say, oh, wait, this is not right. Like there's a Noel and there's a King that can, create a post or create a space to say, what's wrong with this picture? And people can see and respond to that and say, you know what? That's actually true. I never thought of speaking up. That's fucked up. And I think that's the benefit of the space that we live in, is that those voices and those opinions on the matter can be heard from a very loud majority. So in keeping with that, I say the same thing when all these stories come out. If you're doing some shady shit, right, and you're going to get caught, you're going to get exposed. There's no more running around and sneaking and hiding in holes. May take a little bit of time. Obviously, this guy looks like he's about 800. You may get away with it for a while. You may think that you were, cheating the system for a little while and doing some dastardly stuff. But the game is up. Social media done ruined all these motherfuckers. Okay? You've been getting away with it for 50 years. Not anymore. You're going to get caught. You're going to get exposed. So, that's how I feel about it. You better, you got to be a wholesome individual. Just don't do nothing wrong, because you'll get found out.
Justin went crazy in that one right there. Y'all said it's been two different Americas. This is where I agree with y'all. No, the hell it ain't. It's always been the same America. That's true. It's always been the same. And I feel like in this America that we live in, it's always been the black highlight. If a black person does something wrong, it's going to be highlighted. It's going to be smeared across the news, across the radio, across every platform, because the agenda is to make it seem like on a national, global level that black people are a certain type of way. We're always going to be villainized in a situation. We'll always be the villains, where you have your counterparty doing the exact same thing, bigger brand, doing it longer, ran through way more people, and you don't hear anything about it. It's swept under the rug. And the proof of me saying this is it's crazy how two people could do the same crime and one person get a counseling sentence and another person get locked up for life. It's crazy how listen, I'm not saying that Diddy doesn't deserve what Diddy deserves. I'm not saying R. Kelly doesn't deserve what R. Kelly deserves. I'm not saying Bill Cosby doesn't deserve what whoever did wrong, but it should be equality. Because last time I checked is why I asked the question, is the flag a lie? Because the flag claims to represent freedom, liberty, and justice for all, which means all races. But does it? Because if that's true, why is Abercrombie and Fitch not getting the same attention as Diddy?
Yeah, true.
Where's the Abercrombie and docuseries? Diddy ain't even been found guilty yet, and he has a docuseries. Did he do it?
Boy, they got about 20 of them.
How is it possible that this man has a whole docuseries about him, but no one's even talking about Abercrombie and Fitch?
Diddy, they got series on Diddy on Tubi, YouTube, Hulu, Netflix.
We have to make it make sense. And for people to act like there's not a difference and it's equality, that's a lie. Even with this DEI situation, and you want to remove all these programs that help out other communities. Well, we didn't start off this game of Monopoly the same. It's crazy how we built the Monopoly board, but yet we didn't start at the same time, at the same race, because of redlining, the black codes, Jim Crow laws, and everything else. How dare you still have the audacity to say, well, how can you have, Black History Month? And how would you feel if we had White People's Day? Well, you got it 365 days out the year already. And you mad at the shortest month? That's crazy work. And the crazy part about it is, even on Black History, who says you wasn't included? The reason why you probably don't feel included is probably because of your racist ways and how you treat people. So you don't feel welcome because you weren't. It's an inner thing. It's an inner problem. It's an inner mindset why you don't feel welcome, because no one said Black History Month and didn't include everyone. Or why isn't only Black people on Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl? Well, I thought it was DEI and the best people were supposed to be there. Why ain't no Black people on Friends? But I never hear you complain about that. Hello?
I like Friends, actually.
There was one Black girl.
One, I don't care.
Okay.
Care?
And
why is it when you got John Bodega in Star Wars and you have monsters and creatures all over the world in different universes and different spaces, the only thing that you could see was a Black lead in Star Wars? Hello? And you were in an uproar about him getting a role. Hello? In Little Mermaid, why were you so upset that there was a Black fit? Hello? Oh, wait. Yeah. I don't hear you having the same type of energy. And the same way you don't have the same type of energy now is the same way you don't have the same type of energy about Abercrombie and Fitch. Why are you not outraged about that?
Yeah.
But you're outraged about coming to the barbecue. How come you ain't outraged about potatoes and raisins, but you want to come to the barbecue? How come you ain't outraged about salt and pepper ain't seasoning, but you want to come to the barbecue?
Yeah, I never understood that. I see salt and pepper. I don't understand.
You hush.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, there's one point. Wait.
Get off the stage. I'm ranting right now. I'm sick of this. All I'm saying is we can't talk about that there's equality and justice for all until we make sure that it's really that. And we have to stop being envious of any color in the crayon box and allow everyone the same opportunity at success. The day that we start doing that is the day America will finally be great. Because let's make America great again. Well, if we go back 400 years, it was slavery. And it was only benefiting one America. So if America's ever going to be great, it takes every single color in the rainbow to create a beautiful picture. Every single color. But if one color dominates the rest of the colors, is it still a rainbow? I think not. So why are we destroying something that God created beautiful with invisible lines of hate? See, this hate is one that we created, that we walk by, that we live by. You say that it's equality until you get treated like a Black person. It's crazy, no disrespect to anybody's community, that a man can claim that he's a woman. But what if I went to court and said, I'm white, I want to be tried as a white person? I identify as white. Hello? That's what I thought. Let me bring them back to the stage. All right, I just had to get that off my chest. I apologize.
Yeah, speak your truth, man.
Move to this next subject because I'm about to get pissed off.
So let me get this straight. A man can't text you guys, what are you doing, because you got $2,000-$3,000 worth of monthly bills? I don't think you're really out here looking for like a real man, like an alpha man, a king, somebody who can teach you, guide you, lead you, somebody that you can actually build a foundation with, get some genuine chemistry going. Y'all not looking for that. Y'all are out here looking for somebody to help you. Y'all are out here looking for a sponsor, somebody to sponsor your lifestyle. Because I'm trying to understand, when did it become a man's responsibility to even give you anything during the dating phase? A man is not responsible for your monthly bills in the dating phase. You're not his woman. And what makes you think that a man does not have his own bills his own responsibilities. That is why a lot of you ladies cannot enjoy the dating phase, because you are out here dating for all the wrong reasons. When you are dating somebody, it should really only be about just seeing if you and this person got a connection. Can we build together? Are we on the same page? Do we got the same beliefs, the same values? Something along those lines. But y'all get so frustrated. Well, he keep texting me, what you doing? And he ain't asking me how much is my rent and my car note. That's not his problem. A real man is not getting ready to lead with his money. Only an insecure man lead with his money. There is some man that will give you money in the first couple of months, but that's a man that don't know himself. A man that knows himself, he's going to find out a turnoff that you're even asking him for money. Allow that man to give you that good gesture. A man that is genuinely interested in you, he's going to see any type of weight that he can lift off of you, so you wouldn't have to ask to begin with. But if you ladies are out here drowning in your own monthly bills like that, to the point where you frustrated and can't date somebody for the genuine reasons, then you shouldn't be dating.
Hello. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Noel, you're up. Yeah, like I said, like that set up real nice.
Why am I always
Noel, we want to know. Do it for the ladies.
That's hilarious. I don't know. I'm hyper independent, so I cannot relate to any woman who is expecting a man to pay all of her bills, especially in the dating phase. I think that's just ridiculous. Why? It's not even about a gender thing. Why are you not responsible with your money?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you irresponsible with your money? That to me is absolutely ridiculous. You are a grown adult. This is beyond gender to me. Be a responsible adult. How are you swimming in debt and bills already? And it's just you. That's utterly ridiculous. That's unacceptable. But you want to enter into a relationship and you're broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, to me, because money is simply a tool to get the lifestyle that you want, to get the lifestyle that you need. So if you are not even loving yourself enough to make sure that you are a better man or woman to enter into a relationship, then do you even really love yourself?
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, that's crazy talk, to put your livelihood in someone else's hands and say, I expect you to pay my car, no, my this and my that. Why? Why don't you love yourself enough to make sure you are taking care of you? I think that is not only irresponsible, it's foolishness. And then if we want to get into the gender aspect, I think it's royally dangerous for a woman to completely 100% depend on a man to take care of her. That is how financial abuse happens.
Financial abuse.
So then you're entering into this sponsorship-like relationship, if you will, this transactional situation. Then what happens when he's done with you?
Wow.
And then he kicks you out of his place. Then he cuts you off from his money, because that's his money, not your money. Then what you gonna do?
It's cold
then you're
weather.
out in the street. And then you're in an even more desperate situation than you were before you met him. So how about take care of yourself, love yourself enough to put yourself in a great situation, in a beautiful financial situation, because it's beyond finances. This is about self-love and how you want to come across as a whole human being.
A whole human being.
That's it.
Wow. Justin, you're up.
Yeah, somebody that asks for nothing will get everything, and somebody that asks for everything will get nothing. You get nothing, right? So I'll keep this short and sweet. Here's my take on this whole thing. You are, as a man or woman, as an adult human being, you are owed nothing from anybody, right? But I feel like I have to put this out there. The knife really cuts both ways. I feel like there is always a breakdown, or a lot of times there's a breakdown, or there's a lack of communication, because you may have this situation dictates, right? So you may have this woman or the situation who wants to, or this person who wants to be independent, doing their thing, but they meet a guy who either love bombs them, or you say financially bombs them, or says, comes in flush with all this stuff that I can do, and I'm this big shot, da, 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 and you don't have to worry about shit. I got it, right? And when that happens, the responsibility really is on the opposite party in the relationship. Could be man to man, woman to woman, whoever, to say, hey, look, I know you want to do all these things, but I also have mine and I'm taking care of myself. So if you do, cool, that's on you, right? Because a lot of times what does happen, we don't speak about this a lot. What does happen, somebody comes in there and says, I got this, I got this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. The other person sits back and says, hey, cool, you offered whatever. Situation breaks down and that person turns into an Indian giver. Remember when I did all this for you? Remember when I bought you the car? Remember when I paid you?
Preach.
By the way, I'm owed that back. Oh, no. That was your decision. You chose this. I changed my life to fit your lifestyle. No. You did that, not me. But there is a serious breakdown when those situations happen in communication. So if you come in and you say, hey, I'm a multimillionaire. I want to take you from living in Inglewood to living in Beverly Hills. I want to move you from this house to this house over here. I want to buy the cars. I want to buy this. Cool. You can do all that. But also remember that's your decision. And then on the reverse end, if you're that male or you're that female that's being supported in that, if you're not squirreling away your little acorns, if you're not putting away your stuff for a rainy day, if you're not putting part of your little allowance away and you're buying shoes, cars, taking trips and doing all that because you expect that it's always going to be there, then when it falls apart, you can't look at anybody else in the mirror but you. But if you're that person that says, hey, look, he's giving me X number a week, X number, he's buying me this, I need to take away a little bit of that and pocket that on the side. That's my little, safety net in case things go wrong. So you just got to wake up and be smarter about things and also communicate in those situations. Because like I said, and like Noel said, if the expectation is that it's always going to be there or that person's always going to do that, then you're just fooling yourself. And you're setting yourself up for failure because those conversations are going to be real harsh and real heinous. But it has to work out on both ends. It just has to.
That was Justin's version of being real quick. Just want to let y'all know, for Justin, that was quick.
Hey, look, I didn't go on a rant on the last one, so
that's true. Don't worry about it, ladies. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to take care of you? I can do that. I remember going out on a date, right? Shorty was like, oh, I'm just to a guy paying for the first 5 days. I said, word? That's what's up, girl. I'm used to having sex on the first 5 days.
Oh.
She said, I said, she said, why'd you say that? I said, why'd you say that? She said, I can't believe you. I said, I can't believe you. Right? And this is whole back and forth, right? I said, why wouldn't I say that? If you want to treat me like a transaction, I want to get what I paid for. I'm not your ATM.
It's actually a relationship.
Don't get me wrong. As a man, I don't mind taking you out for a date and paying for a date. I'm okay with that. But there's a difference between appreciation and expectation. Yeah. How do you even know I want to go on the next date with you? And you talking about you want me to pay for the first 5? When did that ever become a rule? What is my last name? What is my favorite color? What do you know about me? But you're setting up an allotment for 5 weeks in a row to get a free lunch up off me or dinner, and you don't even know who I am.
Allotment.
Or am I showing up for you to be on my taxes and you know nothing about my history? So if I treat you and I want to, if I go to the store and I buy something, right? Then whatever I buy, I get to take home, right? Exactly. So if you don't want me to treat you like that, don't treat me like that. Treat me like a person. Act like you actually have some interest and you actually want to get to know who I am, because you might mess around and find out that I'm actually really dope. I'm really like that. But then you wonder why you walk around brokenhearted and you still single. Oh. Because I'm not the first person that you said that to. My question is, when did we start teaching that? Don't get me wrong. I understand that girls have to be soft like flowers, but I think girls mentally get manipulated when they get that princess treatment. And Prince Charming is supposed to do everything for you, and he's supposed to come save you, and he's supposed to do this, and all you have to do is be pretty. Well, guess what? Pretty could be a curse too. You could have the curse of beauty because you can be beautiful and a nigga do everything for you in the beginning and then treat you like trash in the end. Because that's all you have. You have no substance. You only have your look. You walk around beautiful with the outfits, breast out, booty out, everything that look good. I ain't mad at you because I like it too. But if that's it and you're empty and you offer nothing else, what happens when I see the next shiny car that drives by? You think you're the only pretty person? So when the next shiny car drives by and I want to test drive that, you're mad because you're empty. But there was nothing here. It was empty. You had nothing else going for you. You had no mind, no soul, no heart, no spirit. And then you wonder why you walk around unfulfilled. Or you say there's no good guys out here. No, there's plenty of good guys out here. You just don't want them. Because you think that you are supposed to be the recipient of everything. And when you don't receive what you thought you were supposed to receive, now you're damaged goods, or you mentally scarred, or you're hurt. But then that works both ways for a transaction of a guy, because you can't ask a woman to be submissive if you don't know how to be submissive yourself. You can't say you want to lead somebody, but you have no directions, no coordinates, and you don't know where you're taking the person. You can't sit up here and sit there, I'm the man and I'm going to do this and da-da-da, but then you fall short on your promises. You got excuses of why you're not living up to who you say you were supposed to be. See, it's a two-way street of two broken people trying to heal together. What do they call it? Trauma bonding. So you have a lot of trauma bonding going on and not enough self-love going on, because the more we start to learn how to love ourselves, the better we'll be lovers for the next person. But I can't love you without knowing how to love me. Hold on, we got a couple of comments. Teach that, conceiving stage, dream time learning. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just look at it like this. At the end of the day, when did love come with a price? What is your price of love?
The price of love.
What is your price? And if it ain't about love, then how much does it cost to hit? Let's just skip everything else. No. Let's have a real conversation. Let's have a real conversation. If you ain't trying to get to know me, we just out here, you just want a couple of lunches or whatever else, and I'm just trying to hit, what is the price tag for me to go ahead and hit to do that? Do what I do. Because there's no
just lunch.
Listen, there's no difference in that and prostitution. It's just dressed up differently. It's just dressed up differently. I mean, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all can say, King, you tripping. But if a dude's only agenda is to try to hit, I'll buy you this and I'll buy you that so I can get the draws, then what is the difference? Because after I got what I wanted or whatever else, I'm gone. Yeah. So let's avoid all the small talk and let's get to the transaction of what it is. How much does it cost? What is your price? Because you think I'm wait, no. Let's get into it. Let's do this.
Ruby Tuesday prices?
Because you get people who get flown out and act like they don't know why they got flown out, and then when they don't want to do what their person's talking about when they're flown out, they ain't got a way to get home. And then they mad they ain't got a way to get home. But did y'all talk about what was supposed to happen in the transaction before the relationship of you even being thrown out? That's just having honest conversations. That's my honest conversation. If I'm going to fly you out, I expect this and that from you. This is what I'm expecting from you, right? That's clarity for the lady to have a choice. See, a lot of times we blindside people and we rob them of the choice of what they want to do or if they don't want to do. Yeah, and then when the person gets there, they know they playing the game. Well, girl, I'm about to go to Dubai. He's flying me to Dubai, girl. I'm going to Fiji. I'm going to the water, the Cayman Islands. Yeah, look at me. I got my bags. I'm ready to go.
He's flying around. He's flying around for a reason, right? But they don't tell you that.
Come on, and then you get there, he wine, he dine you know what I'm saying? You in your cabana, everything, and then when he said he want to hit, you're like, oh no, that wasn't part of the plan.
You better hope that's all he wants to do.
Listen, there was some type of conversation that went wrong. There was some part that was no honesty on both sides. There was no honesty from his side because he wanted to have sex with you, and there was no honesty from your side because you didn't want to have sex with him. You just wanted the benefits of the transaction. Yeah. I'm tripping.
Martin feels personal about this. This is some real shit.
Tell me if I'm tripping. Am I bugging right now?
No.
No.
So let's just have the honest conversation up front where people can have the choice. Stop trying to be sneaky links and just be honest links. This is what it is. No sneaky
straight up
honest links.
Straight up from the beginning. Said that
Now-
Just be real
right
with
from the
you.
gate.
You fine. That thing look good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to beat your guts. It is what it is.
Lord.
With you.
Oh, I didn't need to hear that.
Let me be honest. And then you have a choice to whether you want that to happen or not. I hate when people rob other people of choices. Just be upfront, because guess what? You might be surprised what someone would say when you give them the option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have honesty and clarity when it comes to that, instead of just trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Look. If you're a freak and you want your shorty to mess with another shorty and be honest. She might tell you yes.
No.
But the fact that you tried to sneak and do it, you messed up the whole situation because you had no honesty.
Yeah. Fucked up the game.
And that works both ways. Shorty, if you only trying to get a bag, you only trying to get a nigga to pay the bill, look, I will give you my time, my energy, my this, my that, or whatever else, but this is what I expect.
Yeah.
Why can't we be honest about expectations and communication? Because that's how things go left. But the more honest we are, the more clarity we get, the more we'll be able to get to the goal. It's a lot of brokenness going around because it's broken conversations.
Period.
The goal of hitting it.
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on when you said Tuesday specials.
Ruby Tuesdays. That's what her nickname's going to be.
What's that
$12 lunch special. Wow. That's
Let's get into this one right here, y'all. Let's get into this one right here.
White people are upset that Kendrick Lamar's halftime show did not include any white dancers. They're calling it exclusionary and racist. But hold the fuck up. Aren't these the very same people claiming that DEI isn't fair? Who believe in meritocracy and that companies should just hire the best person for the job? And that diversity efforts are just forced inclusion? So white people, let us get this straight together. We are saying that when historically white spaces stay white, that's just the way things are. But when a black artist celebrates black dancers in a performance celebrating black culture, suddenly we're upset by this? Kendrick's performance was not about exclusion. It was about authenticity. And black artists do not exist to make you comfortable and to keep us in our fragile little bubbles. And maybe remember the quote that if art doesn't make you question something, then it's just an advertisement. I hope this helps.
In about 5 minutes.
Stars. Jay Nice, you up, brother? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the Kendrick Super Bowl thing situation is oh man, I've never seen a Super Bowl performance or halftime performance, or so it can be dissected so much. If his goal was to get people talking, then succeeded. Success has been achieved. I can't disagree with him at all. I'll be straight to the point with this. To me, what it was Kendrick's been Kendrick for a long time. So I don't see why anybody would be surprised that this was the route that was chosen with, all black cast and black dancers and black artists and all that stuff. I don't see why that's an issue, why that would surprise anybody. To me, it's like, I don't know why there's this dissection on Kendrick, because if it was a pop performance or an R&B performance or anything else, that's more my take, is Beyonce or is Usher, whatever. I don't think we'd be having this conversation in the way we're having it with Kendrick. But to me, it's his performance. He's a superstar. He's setting up and organizing it the way he wants, the way he sees fit, right? And NFL or the powers that be that are putting this on are saying, hey, you have carte blanche to design this however you want to do it. So he's an artist. This is his work of art. Let the man have it. If you want to have an all black thing, I don't see why it seems like somebody has to feel like we're excluded. We're excluded. I mean, there's been, Bon Jovi and Kid Rock and all kinds of people that didn't have no black people up there. Or whoever did the Super Bowl halftimes plenty of times. There's been 50 of them. We didn't have these same conversations. It was like, well, that was just a good halftime performance. Oh, well. So let the man have his art. Let him do what he wants. And then, next year, if they have a white artist, I'm sure they'll have a whole bunch of white people up there. And to me, if we don't revisit this conversation, if we have a Sabrina Carpenter or somebody at Super Bowl fucking 62 or whatever it is, and she has all white thing, then I think that's kind of a disservice, because it's like you were saying earlier, you got to be equal across the boards. If you're going to dissect this and you're going to be crazy about it and you're going to feel a certain way about it, then the next time that comes up, make sure there's diversity in everyone. Because if we have this conversation on our side about a white artist having all white people, just telling you guys can't get mad, because remember, you guys did this year. That's how I feel about it.
Talk your talk, King. Noel, you're up.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Long live Kendrick. It was amazing. It was amazing. 10 out of 10. If you wanted to audition to be a dancer, you ain't make it. You just ain't make the cut. Oh, well, too bad. Go cry about it. I loved it. Have no notes. 10 out of 10, because I like artists that make me think. And yes, Kendrick is that artist that is going to put on an artistic visual medium that is going to make you think. You're not just going to be entertained. There are other entertainers that will do that. Kendrick's not one of them. So I love it. 10 out of 10. I think we may not see another performance like this again. So I am savoring this moment. I love artists with a message.
Yeah, we definitely won't. For sure.
Yeah, no.
I disagree. I think it's the beginning of something new. Things have to change.
Yeah.
And here's the point. We're still talking about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're still talking about it right now. It broke records. Whether people liked it or not, you can't change the fact that he broke records. You can't change the fact that the result is he still has people still having conversations about it right now. And all people are wondering, is Drake going to clap back at the World Series? For soccer, at the World Series, is Drake going to clap back on the bigger stage? Because the World Series is supposedly bigger than the Super Bowl. So there's still the anticipation of this storyline between Kendrick and Drake playing out, right? I loved it, first and foremost. But please cry out like that. I appreciate you. Thank you, white people who have something to say. I appreciate it. Because you open up Pandora's box when it's supposed to be a two-way street.
Yeah.
And when you think about the history of the presidents, we only had one black man, right? When you look at people who get to take over buildings, we've never got to do that. We've never got to take over a building and hold it hostage with guns. We never got to storm the Capitol. These are different things that we don't get to do. We don't even get to congregate within 3 to 4 people standing together because we're called a gang. On the football field, we don't get to be passionate because we're angry. But when Tom Brady or Eli Manning or Peyton Manning screams, look at him roar, he's a leader, he's a warrior. I'm so happy that you're able to point out the differences. I appreciate you pointing out the differences, because that opens up Pandora's box to have a fair conversation about the differences. And now you cannot be upset, because guess what? You're the one who put the key in, turned it, and opened up Pandora's box. So can we talk about that when it comes to jobs? Can we talk about that when it comes to college and how people were getting benefits, even though they weren't the smartest students, because you had parents that had money that they got the benefits of nepotism or just the privilege of being white? They got accepted into colleges, even though you had other students that had higher grades, that had a higher standard, so should have been accepted and got that. Can we talk about job opportunities? Since we want to go there, that's cool. I appreciate it. Can we talk about bank loans and opportunities when it comes to the bank and loans and money? Can we talk about redlining? Can we talk about a lot of things? Can we talk about the fabric of America, since we want to point out equality? Can we point out the fact that you in America right now, over the last 400 years, you weren't slaves, you didn't build it, you didn't steal inventions, you didn't steal songs, you didn't copyright and take over, you didn't change the law for everything to benefit you. Since we want to go and open up that box, thank you. Let's have the conversation about equality. Let's do that. Please and thank you. Because now that you went there, you should be open to us being able to have the conversation back with you. I look forward to you. I thank you. I welcome you. Final thoughts of the show. Noel, you're up.
Final thoughts. Love yourself, take care of yourself, and get your own bag.
Straight like that. Justin, final thoughts.
Yeah, man. Be self-aware. You know, don't have expectations from anybody else. Have those expectations from yourself, and yeah, stop complaining and just go work hard.
Equality. It's a beautiful conversation. I look forward to having it with you. Clarity. I look forward to having it with you. Honest transactions. I look forward to having it with you. Knowing your value and knowing your price. I look forward to having that conversation with you. Pandora's box. Thank you for unlocking it. And different platforms. Thank y'all for telling the truth, because we need to get more truths out here in the world, because a lot of people don't know. Evolution is a beautiful thing. So let's stop talking bad about each other and let's start loving each other. This is our whole show, King Jaquel Martin, Whispering to Your Soul. I'm here with A. Noel Jackson, and I'm also here with Jay, your other host, that guy. So if you need some work done, hit up Jay. You need a director, producer, hit up Jay. You need a producer, hit up A. Noel Jackson. And if you need somebody who's really him, hit me up. Love y'all. You dig? This is Whispering to Your Soul.